firing. Near corner. It's caught. Touchdown, Alabama. Isaiah Bond.
Take 5, it's time to reboot. Duck, goose, I don't need to choose.
Lillard, long range three. With 5 seconds to go. They gotta pay attention to the clock. Gillen. Unbelievable. No time left. Eagles win.
That
one's drilled to left field. Isn't high enough. See ya. A walk-off grand slam. And the Yankees win. Judge hit 60. And the Yankees win in walk-off fashion.
And with 3 seconds left, Cleveland triggers in. James, 2 seconds, 1 second for the win. LeBron James delivers. That's a winner in Cleveland.
Hallelujah. Take 5, it's time to reboot. Duck. Who's winning? I don't need to choose to the rules.
And it's dropped.
I can never lose.
And it's picked up by Will Hill. Will Hill runs down the sideline. Hill's going to get the ball. Will Hill is going to win the game. And a blocked field goal. Got a mismatch. Walker on McGee with 4. Kemba Walker. Step back. Walker. Curry. Kemba does it again. UConn wins at the buzzer.
My mom taught me to move your feet while I was here. Now tap dance, kicking ass.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Fifth Take Podcast live on YouTube. Brand new show. What up, guys? How we doing? Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening, man? How y'all doing?
What up, Stino? What up, 64? Cliff,
What up,
Chris,
what up?
how we doing tonight, boys?
You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Chris Brown, no relation. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say it. You know what I mean? Teams, Baltimore Ravens, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, New York Yankees, you know what I'm saying? Bronx native. I'm in here.
All right.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay, here you go. Here's the best lineup you're gonna get. You got the Sixers, you got the Chiefs, you
Bandwagon.
got Penn State, and that's really all the sports I care about. Maybe some West Ham and soccer if anybody's a soccer fan.
Well, you don't care about the Phillies? You're a baseball fan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Phillies. I'm just so over baseball. The Dodgers be making the World Series too much.
Hey.
No, I'm not gonna say it this time.
Give it up for good old Penn State. You know they're saying we are overrated.
That's right.
What about you, Cliff?
Everybody joining us tonight, y'all just call me Clifford A. I go for the Cowboys, Mavericks, Stars, Rangers, Texas A&M, all day, every day.
Heck yeah. What about you, Stino?
Man, you know, I'm a Pacers fan, man. I keep everything Indiana around here, man. Except IU, man. Fuck IU, man. Respectfully, disrespectfully, however you want to take it. Gonna always be fuck IU, even though they doing their thing right now. But always gonna be a Notre Dame fan. You feel me? Go Irish. Pacers fan, Colts fan, Cubs fan when it comes to baseball, because you know Indiana still ain't we ain't up there with the baseball thing yet, man. So we're gonna take it a little slow on that one. But yeah, you feel me? That's how we rocking around these parts, bro.
And y'all all know me, Boss Man, Bucks fan, Central Florida, Orlando Magic, Clemson for right now until I decide to go somewhere else. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, he's not, guys. No,
The Homer
sometimes
Simpson of
Clemson,
all sports
sometimes
fans, ladies and
Florida.
gentlemen.
So let's get into it.
Oh
guys.
man,
We got the World Series wrapping up right now. We got NBA just jumped off week 1. NFL's going crazy. Trade deadline's coming up. Well, what's on your minds tonight, guys? Like, what team? What sport? What's rocking your brains at night while you're trying to go to sleep? What's getting you frustrated?
Oh, well, let's get this out the way. The Dodgers are ruining baseball. I hope everybody realizes that they defer all their money to the back end of the contracts, and then they trade these guys before they actually have to pay them the money. And that's why they're making the World Series. They have a super team. This is ultimately, this is the definition of a super team in baseball. You cannot get any better than what they have right now. That being said, Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball, and he just fully deserves to be there. But it's always going to be, for me, fuck the Dodgers. I can't even watch the World Series. I have not watched 1 second of it. I can't stand the Dodgers. I will keep up with the scores, but I can't watch it. That's what's keeping me up at night, is that damn game that went till 2 a.m.
Was it 18 innings?
18 innings, almost 7 hours.
And then they had to deal with LA traffic after that too. So
Yeah, Drake told us, didn't he? LA traffic when the city's slow.
right? Come on. Great.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell y'all what creases my fucking J's.
Ooh, that's a
The
tough.
damn Cleveland Browns. Like the whole Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Barry, Haslam bullshit. It's like, come on, dog. And then it's the people that are trying to defend Dylan Gabriel, and I get it. I think people just feel sorry because of the position he's in. It's like, look, bro. Oh, we don't want to hurt his feelings. Bullshit. You know what's hurting his feelings? The fucking film. The film's hurting his feelings. The stat line is terrible. Like
The
he
fact.
playing like dog water, and he's like, "Oh well, we're gonna look at the film. We're gonna go through everything, but he's still our starting quarterback." It's like, for what? We've never seen Myles Garrett, anything Cleveland Browns related. If Myles Garrett takes over the game, they usually win the game. They never get really dog walked. The man had 5 sacks. He was 2 sacks away from tying the record, and they got dragged. Like, let's make this make sense. And the problem is the quarterback, because you can't hide the quarterback in your offense. The play call is trash. Dylan Gabriel's play right now is garbage juice water, and we're seeing a Shedeur Sanders on the sideline, and he's not giving them a chance. So the Cleveland Browns are acting like the Browns that are in the toilet when you push, and that's what's pissing me off this week.
He called them a Cleveland steamer. All right. What about you, Cliff?
Ain't nothing steaming about them. They'd have to be hot.
No, it's me off tonight, yesterday, the day before, or the day before, or the day before. Fuck Nico Harrison. Fire that motherfucker. Get rid of him out of Dallas. Bring back Luca. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of seeing your fucking face on the camera. Other than that, Stars are winning. Cowboys fucking lost. Again, we got to figure out our fucking defense. If that's not fucking something that we can handle, please.
I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you, Cliff.
But I will have to say, my Texas A&M Aggies, listen, they might actually be the best fucking team in college football right now. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Wait, let me show you what happened with Texas A&M and LSU. They were like, okay, Tigers, which one do you want? You want the side with the design, or do you want the side that's just playing? Because it was belt to ass, that fucking game. It was ridiculous. Reese went off.
I really want to go back and look at the last time the fucking LSU Tigers allowed a team 49 points at home. Just saying.
What about you, Stino?
What got you seeing stars?
Other than your ceiling.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I know it's been a couple weeks since it happened, but the fact that the Indianapolis Colts could be undefeated right now, had it not been for Adonai Mitchell leaving 14 points on the field, still kind of pisses me off, bro. Not gonna lie, still kind of pisses me off. I've been trying to convince other teams to try to take him on for maybe a bag of garden salsa sun chips and a fountain Pepsi or something like that, but I've not been able to get any takers so far, man. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing though, man. And of course, Tyrese Halliburton and the torn Achilles that happened in Game 7 of the finals last year too. That still keeps me up at night. Still keeps me holding the kind of like the meme where you got Wolverine holding the picture of Spider-Man or whatever the case may be, man. So it's kind of it for me right now. So.
And in the picture is Halliburton's ankle.
Yeah, exactly. Now I will say, a lot of people kind of started to jump on the train of rabbit holes or conspiracy theories or whatnot, right? For those of you that like to kind of dig into stuff, in the state of Indiana has started an initiative that is called 2050 Vision. You can actually look this up. This is a real thing. It's pretty much Indiana trying to be the central sports hub of not just the United States, but almost pretty much the world. And it's starting to kind of seem that way if you pay attention to how Indiana sports are starting to play out right now. And starting to feel like it's kind of sacrifice after sacrifice. You know, we got Caitlin Clark make the playoffs. Then the following year, we get 1 game, 2 games away from making the WNBA finals without Caitlin Clark, the best player, due to her injury. Then the Pacers make the NBA finals, and they are 1 game away from winning it, and they sacrificed Tyrese Halliburton's Achilles so Daniel Jones can have a career revival in Indianapolis, and the Colts maybe win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, just I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to jinx you. If something happens to Jonathan Taylor, then I'm going to believe you.
That's true.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
So
Like,
I got
like
two things.
if he had,
Go ahead.
no, I'm saying if he has the meanest high ankle sprain right before the postseason, that'll yeah. There's some black magic going on somewhere.
Exactly, bro.
So I got 2 things right now that have been pissing me off. And we talked about it earlier before we even started the show, but Wemby getting the 5 blocks, that's crazy. Absolutely insane. I don't know how fucking Slender Man's out here balling like he is. And the step back 3, like Chris brought up earlier, that shit's crazy. And then number 2 is Jalen Hurts being glorified as the number 3 quarterback in the league. I'm tired of hearing it. I like, if the next terrorist attack happens, hit Philadelphia, and then I'll be happy. I'm sorry. That's just honesty. I'm sorry.
Illusion in a bottle. Illusion in a bottle.
It's bad, dude. Like, we spend time on TikTok, and that's all they talk about is Jalen Hurts. Can we have a new conversation? Like, can Pat Mahomes get better again? Can, like, Tom Brady come back or something? I need something to get off of Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, but Pat Mahomes
is in the league in passing.
I
He's
mean,
back,
but the Chiefs have been look like doo-doo water. They look like the Browns for the like.
No, whatever I've been
gotten
saying.
better.
They've gotten better. Wait until Rashee Rice gets back, and that offense is going to go from whatever they were in the first 5-6 weeks to what they are now.
You're saying, but and the Magic are dog shit. I don't know why people are hyping them up, but anyways.
I kind of got a correlation. So Chris was talking about Shedeur Sanders, and we got a Colts fan right here. And I was saying to somebody, because they're looking to move Shedeur Sanders, it seems like. I don't know if it's Stefanski or if it's the team as a whole or whatever. I was talking with some buddies earlier today, and I personally, for me, I don't know how the Colts fan will think about it, but if you were able to finagle some kind of trade where you send Anthony Richardson, who you used the first-round pick on, to the Browns, and you got in return Shedeur Sanders for the inevitable end of Indiana Jones, whether it's the end of this year or the beginning of next year, how would you feel about that, Stino? He obviously would be a backup this year.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it, but from everything that I've been hearing and reading on and everything like that, it seems like the Indianapolis is actually trying to work on a relatively long-term extension with Daniel Jones this upcoming offseason, because they did only sign him to a 1-year deal, which is, I'm not going to say highly incentive-based, but so far since we're 7-1, he's made $700,000 on top of the money that he's already made from just his contract alone. There were stipulations in his contract to where every game that he plays like 25% of the snaps and they win, he gets $100,000 and he gets an extra $1 million if he leads us to the playoffs, yada, yada, and whatnot. So I think if he continues to do well, not necessarily regress heavily into throwing a whole bunch of interceptions and stuff like he used to do in New York, then I think it's very possible that we're looking at him long term. And if that was to happen, then yeah, I mean, Shedeur he'd still be stuck being a backup for another 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? So
trade him to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, Hey, that's something else I was thinking about too, bro. Ain't it kind of crazy that after Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier got arrested, Tua just stopped throwing dumbass fucking interceptions, bro? Tua
Crazy
It's
work.
something to do with that. I think he had pink eye. Didn't he have pink eye?
he had
You
pink
know-
He
eye.
needs someone to fart.
He had pink eye Sunday, and he threw like what 3 or 4 touchdowns,
Bro,
I
He
think.
threw
yeah,
4 touchdowns.
pink eye with no visor in a stadium that's one of the brightest in the NFL. Come on.
He needs someone. He
And
needs
you
someone to
still-
fart in his face every Saturday night. That's what he needs.
I mean, he got
Just
enough money
all
to make
right.
that happen.
Let it rip. I need to play well this Sunday. For real.
Getting under the covers tonight, baby. Under the covers.
Got to eat that booty for a victory. I like it.
That's right. Eat that booty like a victory.
He like to smell whatever's cooking when it happens. I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
So let's go around the table. This is our little segment, around the table. Give me one of the teams or sport that's surprising you right now of a team that's taken off and doing way better than what they have so far. We'll start with Chris.
I would say the Green Bay Packers for me, and the reason why it's for me is because I saw their schedule last year at the end season's end. They only played about, I believe, they had like 5-6 games when they were playoff teams. No, all the games they lost were against playoff teams last year. The rest of the games they won, majority of them were against teams that were, top 15 picks in the draft. So I looked at their schedule. And I was like, they're gonna slip. They're gonna take a dip as far as results because you can see that schedule last year is fool's gold. Not this year. Offensively, you have to keep them out of rhythm the whole game. And if you get Jordan Love to get on that rhythm where he's just wheeling and dealing the whole time, that offense can be extremely difficult to stop. It's not like he's aiming at only one guy. I mean, Tucker Kraft is going off this year. They're just throwing into the open target, and all them guys are catching passes for the most part. And Romeo Doubs is not getting injured. So I mean, when you're looking at this team, they lost Jalen Reed, and then they still rolling. They have pieces. They have a plethora of receivers. Christian Watson came back. He played pretty good in his first game back from an ACL tear. And then you see Micah Parsons starting to go off in certain games where he just takes over. And we saw that in the Pittsburgh game last night. And not only does he get himself sacks, he get the other guy sacks as well. So the secondary is still a question, but if they're able to get a pass rush, they can be a really big problem.
All right. What about you, bald bro number one?
I'm gonna have to eat my words a little bit here. For anyone that knows me as a Sixers fan and sitting here watching the draft with me, I was not necessarily impressed with the pick. I nothing against VJ Edgecombe. I thought that he was a fantastic player, but when we already have Maxey and McCain and Paul George and Quentin Grimes and Kelly Oubre, we have a lot of guys that can play that 1, 2, or 3 position. I was not impressed with the pick. I thought we could have won either a different direction or just move back or something just to get a little bit of capital. I did not think we were going to have a good season. I get it's early, first week of the season, but we started out 4-0. We beat playoff teams from last year, and Tyrese Maxey is like second or third in points, or first. Sorry, he's first in points per game in the NBA right now. That backcourt with Maxey and Edgecombe, I don't know what is happening, but they have just played above, I think, everyone's expectations. I think we all knew that Maxey was a dog, but we did not expect this. Damn near 40 points a game so far through 4 games. So my surprise team so far, and that's liable to change, NBA is crazy, is going to be the Sixers simply because they're doing all this without Paul George. So I'm a little bit excited to see what happens when he kind of fits back into the system, if he comes back at any effectiveness as he had in the past couple of years.
See, that was my...
He might throw them off when he comes back. Who knows?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. So, what I've been saying to myself, trying to hype myself up, hopefully, I don't want to get too excited because this is what we do. We have a decent season. We lose in the playoffs to the Celtics in 6 or 7 games. That's usually what happens. I'm thinking if we bring him back and he either starts on the bench or, just to get back into the rhythm, maybe works in with the first team here or there, your bench then it's like McCain. He might be injured right now, but when he comes back, you got McCain, Paul George. You're probably moving Oubre to the bench because Bona is playing great. Embiid's obviously going to be starting. You got Drummond coming on. The bench team could start for a lot of these lower level teams. So they've built something there that I guess I wasn't paying enough attention this offseason, but they've built something there where they have enough depth where they can afford an Embiid injury. He's really not playing at that MVP level that they're used to. So you lose him, you bring in Bona or Drummond, but Bona is 5th in the league in blocks per game right now. He's playing elite defense. He's being the best rim protector because realistically, with as good as Maxi's scoring is, his defense isn't quite there. So people are getting to the rim, but he's there to protect it. So they've built some kind of depth in Philadelphia where they can withstand some kind of injuries. And then, like I said, you're getting Paul George back at some point. You're getting McCain back. So they're gonna be looking pretty good. I don't know if they'll be an elite team in the East, but they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm pretty solid. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
See, that was my take, but he said everything for me. So yeah, Cliff.
Well, boys, it's been tough to hear everything that's going on, but I will tell you this: what I've gathered from this year's Mavericks is, regardless of the number 1 pick, we ain't doing shit. And I don't even know where to begin on how this team not necessarily needs a rebuild on players, but it needs a rebuild on coaching. It needs a rebuild on the GM. Are you laughing about the slide? Don't you laughing about this? By the way, I'm actually
like you did that on purpose.
Like the group of guys that are standing behind me, those are all my fucking bosses. Like VP. Like, hey, we're going out for a group huddle. All right, cool. But no, I don't even know where to begin with this group of Maverick stars that we have. Like, I've said for 3 years now, I'm ready for Jason Kidd to go. I love Jason Kidd. I absolutely love the man. But it's time for Kidd to go, Nico Harris to go, get us a new fucking GM. I don't care if he has Tyson Knight. It doesn't matter to me. Get us a new head coach, one that actually will show some emotion after a loss, show some emotion after a win, not be this monotone voice that you're going through the league and everybody's looking at you like you're a fucking idiot because this guy doesn't care. So I digress.
A lot of basketball tonight. A lot of people are paying attention to the NBA with the NFL in week 9, going into week 9. So
it's the start of the season, baby. It's like Christmas all over again.
I know Stino's loving this. Stino's a basketball guy, so I know he's loving this.
I love it. Yeah, I fucking.
This is why Stino's here. He's like basketball talk. I like
it. Hey, man.
He's in sports paradise right now. We talking basketball, and the Colts is one of the best teams in the league. Hell yeah, he ain't got nothing to worry about.
I love it. I love it. Like a virtual hard on over here for me every day, bro.
What about you, Steve? What team surprising you?
Man, it's been a few surprises, man. I'm gonna go a little off kilter though. I don't think it's much of a super surprise to a lot of people, man. But the Seahawks and the way they've been playing so far this season in the NFL, man. I don't think a lot of us suspected Sam Darnold to come into Seattle and have the same type of success that he had in Minnesota under Kevin O'Connell. But the offense is still humming and looking like one of the best in the NFL over there. And he's got JSN out there looking like Jerry Rice right now. You know what I mean? So, man, just got that offense playing real well. The defense is looking good over there. Mike McDonald's looking like an excellent head coach and could be in contention for that coach of the year. And I was looking over their schedule on a live with some guys on a TikTok earlier, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man. People can call me crazy if they want, but the way that schedule is looking, I can see a world where Seattle might fuck around and take that first place in the NFC, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
Number
the
one
Ravens,
seed.
yes, the number one seed in the NFC. I know it's quite a hot take, but they have an extremely favorable schedule, I think, remaining right now. I know they play the Rams twice, and I think they play the Niners and the Cardinals still too. But I mean, uh, outside of playing the Rams twice, which we know with those divisional games, you might split just because of how good both teams are right now, right? But I mean, outside of those divisional games, I don't really see a lot of losable games for them outside of maybe the Colts game. And even as a Colts fan, I can see Seattle beating us right now, to be honest with you. If we was to play them right now, with our secondary as banged up as it has been all season, with our top four corners mainly spending most of the season on the IR, I could see JSN torching our defense and Seattle really putting belt to ass to us, man, to be honest. So I'm going to say Seattle for me is one of my bigger surprises so far this season.
Okay, all right. 64 just send me some in our little message chat thing. Bring up the trade deadline for NFL. That's definitely a topic to talk about really quick. I know
Yeah,
this is just
yeah.
this is just so let everybody know this is just a little pilot show. We're normally going to be live on Friday and Tuesdays, but we just wanted to get something out for you guys to watch, hang out with us, see what kind of vibes we're putting out, and
Yeah,
what
man.
it's going to be like. But yeah, the
See
trade
how I
deadline.
look with the
The trade.
mustache.
Yes, we know you're all pretty right now. We get it. Okay, it still don't mean you're getting no pussy tonight. All right, so let's stay on track.
Hey, dude, I'm adorable. I'm good.
But no, the trade deadline for the NFL right now is going crazy. I know as a Bucks fan, they've received. Hey, how's it going? We've received 7 different trade offers for Tez Johnson. I know that people are trying to move around, get some pieces for wide receivers are looking for. There's rumors about Jalen Waddle. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Who do you think would be the best option for a team to pick up right now? I mean, you got the Patriots just dumped a whole bunch of people off. The Steelers just picked up a safety that they needed help with. So, I mean, who do you guys think where they should go?
I think
Bring me a top 3 defensive end in Dallas, and that's all I care about.
I think the Patriots they've made it pretty obvious that they're dumping all this space so they can bring in a Trey Hendrickson. I think that is something that we're going to see in the next couple of days here. Is they're at least going to make a push, whether they can get him or not. They're at least going to make a push to bring in Trey Hendrickson. He's going to fit into that team. He's a Mike Vrabel type of guy. You know, hardworking, high motor. He's going to get in the backfield. He's going to make things happen for them defensively, which they're already a pretty solid defensive unit. So adding somebody like him is definitely going to help them out moving forward if they want to keep this pace up and try and take that division over the Bills.
I think what they did was Mike Vrabel has his guys, and the guys from the Belichick era, they are getting the boot. And you've seen that with the White trade to San Francisco and the Kyle Duggar trade to Pittsburgh. And I mean, to me, based off of what those teams had going on, it improves those teams a little bit more Pittsburgh with the Duggar trade. But I honestly think when you look at what's going on with the Patriots, it's hard to really say like what do they need right now, because they got Christian Gonzalez, and I think maybe an edge rusher would add to it, so a Trey Hendrickson would work out. But I think in order for that trade to happen, they would like I don't really see it, because Cincinnati they're still somehow in the hunt for the AFC North. So I mean, you know, because that loss with Pittsburgh the other night. So I mean, you know how Pittsburgh's looking, and then if they were to tie up with Pittsburgh, they'd win the tiebreaker. So they're still in position to make a push for a postseason run. So I don't really see Trey Hendrickson getting traded unless he really pushes for it. I think we probably see like another edge getting traded, probably If old boy that showed up in the Buccaneers game keeps showing up, you might see Hassan Reddick getting traded out there. So anything can happen at this particular point. But my thing would be I think it'd be Waddle. I wouldn't be surprised if you have Waddle traded to that's a divisional opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if Waddle gets traded into the NFC. And the NFC team I think he might be traded to somehow could be the Giants, because they don't have that deep threat that has those dependable hands. They have a Jalen Hyatt, but when the coverage is tight, he somehow does not able to, to finish with the catch. So you have that guy with speed that could be dynamic, and you give Jackson Dart another weapon with Wan'Dale Robinson. So that one can help out, and it can help out their run game because you have to have both safeties back deep.
Who are you gonna say the divisional opponent?
I was going to say the Bills, but I don't see the Dolphins pulling the Cleveland Browns, when it came to that Joe Flacco trade. So I don't see that happening. I give the Dolphins a little bit more credit compared to what they're doing in Cleveland.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think a trade that could be sneaky good, even though I don't think it's likely to happen, just because it's not really something this team is really known for. But I think a Jalen Waddle trade to Arizona would make that team look a whole lot more dangerous, bro. We see that offense right now. I think that offense looks a lot better under Jacoby Brissett than one that does Kyler Murray. But I also think that the weapons that's over there hinders that offense as well, outside of Trey McBride. There's so much attention that gets put on Marvin Harrison that the other wide receivers like Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson should be able to get a whole bunch of yards, targets, receptions, and everything with as much attention as Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison get. But they don't get open like that. They're not great route runners. They don't have great hands. I just think another solid weapon over there with Arizona would really almost take that team over the top, especially in a division that's rocking with JSN, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, and all those guys you got over there already and everything, man. You need to shore up that offense. And I think the biggest thing for that offense is having a true playmaker, because Marvin Harrison's inconsistent already anyway. Mm-hmm. If interceptions was a stat for wide receiver, he'd probably have 7 or 8 so far already for his career. And that's kind of crazy to me. But, yeah.
He was one of the highest talented wide receivers coming out of Ohio State and has been the most unsuccessful so far.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a combination of things that have caused that. But I'm not going to take blame away from him neither, because there's been plenty of interceptions I see, like I said, that were caused by him. In that Seattle game, just for example, Kyler Murray threw 2 interceptions. Both of those he targeted Marvin Harrison on. The first one was I seen Marvin Harrison just stop running the route while the ball was in the air, almost like he just lost track of the ball or whatever. Then the second one, it was a extremely catchable ball, hit Marvin Harrison right in the hands and in the chest, and he dropped it, and it turned into an interception instead of a reception. A 30-yard reception is what it would have been, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, man, they just need more consistent help over there for Kyler Murray, and I think that offense would be good, man. I do believe before the Cardinals played the Colts a couple weeks ago, the Cardinals have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFC, was only giving up like 17 points a game. If that offense could just have a solid playmaker, even at the running back position. And I think that's another team you could see try to make a move for like a Alvin Kamara or a Breece Hall, given all the injuries that they've had in their backfield and the inconsistent play they've had in their backfield, with DeMarcado dropping the ball before he crosses the goal line, Trey Benson getting hurt, James Conner getting hurt. Like, they're rocking with, hell, one of us could go out there and play running back for the Cardinals right now and end up being productive. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, I think the Cardinals is going to be a real sneaky team to watch out for in this trade deadline, man. And they got enough salary cap space to make a move and take on a decent contract too. So,
I got a nightmare scenario. Y'all ready?
Yeah. let's hear
Jalen
it.
Waddle to the 49ers.
Mm.
Mac
Mm.
I'm
Jones.
so tired of the Niners getting these dream teams. I'm so tired
And,
of it. But yeah,
and they managed to get them through trades. They're some of their best players lately have been through trades. Trent
That is true.
Williams, CMC,
Yep.
and right now Mac Jones is looking he's looking all right. And I honestly think because of that, it's just they don't have another playmaker at wide receiver. And you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on with IU. I don't think they really have that much of a connection. And if you add a speedster like Jalen Waddle to a guy like Mac Jones, who was accurate throwing deep balls to him in Alabama, that could make them a pretty scary team because now you got to be able to guard the deep ball and then somehow manage the run game with CMC, who's running harder than I've seen in his career because they've been running these past few weeks between the tackles. CMC is one of those guys that he can make a quick move in the hole and hey, he's gone, but he's pushing the pile with that line. And if you force them to pull a safety out the box because you got a Jalen Waddle, it's like, man, it's kind of a soft version of pick your poison.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't realize the CMC's quite quietly putting up wide receiver 1 numbers right now as well, coming out of the backfield, man. He's got more receptions, targets, and yards than a lot of wide receiver 1s on some teams right now, man. So yeah, Christian McCaffrey is definitely a dangerous human being at the moment. There's only 2, if I'm not mistaken, it's only him and Jonathan Taylor are the only 2 players right now that are over 1,000 total scrimmage yards at the moment. So,
Yeah, I think ultimately, and Chris kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, is the Bills, as far as you talk about like who needs what, they have to be, in my opinion, at the top of the list as far as wide receiver. They are struggling so much to get that pass game going. The run game's there. It's been working for them. They're making it work. James Cook is I think easily you could say a top 5 running back this year and probably coming out of last year as well. But they need to make something happen. The problem is what I'm hearing is they're like, oh, let's go for Rashid Shaheed. Let's go for Jahan Dawson. They're not looking for a number 1. I don't understand. I'm really not understanding what they're exactly looking for. Because in my opinion, Khalil Shakir is not a number 1 receiver in the NFL. He shouldn't be. I don't think it's just like the way that they run his routes behind the line of scrimmage, get it to him and see if he can make a move. I think the issue they're kind of running into, and Chris, you played football more than I ever played football, so you can kind of chime in on this and tell me if I'm right or wrong, is when as a defense, if you know that they're passing behind the line of scrimmage to Khalil Shakir and they have a pretty good run game, are you not just going to move people up into the box and just eliminate both problems at once?
What's going to happen is that them corners are not going to be scared of you beating them deep, so they're going to be ready to jump anything that is short. And I honestly understand them going what you see them going for is speed. They want a vertical threat that can stretch the defense vertically. So what happens is now you open up that defense. You open up that defense to like the middle of the field is more open for Shakir to just run a drag and get that run after the catch. And then also you can kind of take that safety away from the other receivers that are on the field. So what happens is you give Josh Allen more room in the middle of that defense to just dot him up. And then on top of that, with James Cook, you have to pull the safety out the box because you have a speedster on the field. You can't have a guy one-on-one with Shaheen if he's not fast enough. And speed is one thing you cannot teach. This isn't Madden, not college football 26, where you can manually upgrade players. Either you got it or you don't. And I honestly believe they're going for speed because it was open up that offense and not have defenses just ready to step forward towards the line of scrimmage and not, have to say, hey, we got to get back because this guy can burn us for a 65-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issues that they're getting. So if you remember last year for the Bills, they had Mac Hollins. He didn't play every single down. He wasn't in the game, all the time. But when he was in the game, a lot of times it was a deep, 30-yard plus touchdown catch. It was a catch 40 yards down the field. It was stuff like that. I think the issue that they're kind of running into now is they're trying to make Keon Coleman that guy. And that's just not how he plays. Keon Coleman in college and then in his first year in the NFL, middle of the field, like intermediate routes, nothing too deep, curls out to the sideline. He's got a catch radius of like a double wide garage when you throw him the ball, and you're trying to get him to go downfield. He is not a contested catch guy. He can make the catch if you throw it near him. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying if you're throwing the ball 10 times down the field and the corner is right on his hip, I'd say he's probably catching 4 or 5. I don't think he's catching more.
As far as those type of catches go, yes, I agree. But I also feel like a huge reason why they brought Keon Coleman in was for his red zone threat ability as well. Because he's a 50 guy. He plays basketball as well. And he I don't know if y'all seen any basketball tape on Keon Coleman. That boy can hoop too. That boy got some bunnies to him. You feel me? So that's definitely something else that they brought him in for, to be that red zone threat. And I don't think they utilize him enough or properly in the red zone when they do get down there for him to actually come out of that shell like he needs to. You know what I'm saying?
Also another thing, having a deep threat would also make it easier for Josh Allen to maneuver when he is creating. When he's creating outside the frame of the play, you don't have guys like within, I would say, the first like probably 5-10 yards of the field, because everything's short. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you give Josh Allen more breathing room to operate. He can run. He can throw the ball deep. He has the arm. They just don't have the vertical threat that can take advantage of that. And I honestly think if they were to get a deep threat receiver, it could be anybody. It could be anybody that runs a 4.2 or 4.3. If they catch a 65-yard bomb, that defense is in peril, because now you got to worry about James Cook running the ball, Shakir catching the ball, running it for another 30, 40 yards, breaking tackles, Keon Coleman over the middle. And then you got to worry about a Josh Allen who could throw the ball probably 60, 75 yards down the field with the flick of the wrist. And then he can also run. But because the speedster is going downfield, you have less guys within 20 yards where he could just make one guy miss first down easy. So it gives more operating room for all the other pieces to do what they do best. And that is to take advantage of the spaces that are provided by a vertical threat. That right. I honestly think that can be the thing that puts them over the top as far as the AFC, because the games they've lost or had trouble in, James Cook had trouble running the football. And I think people haven't really noticed that enough. The games they lost, James Cook had trouble. If you look at the yards per carry, it was that defense gave that Bills offense problems. When the one thing that comes to mind is New England. New England comes to mind. When you look at the Belichick pedigree, what is the number one thing? We gonna stop you from running the damn ball. Mm-hmm. You gonna have to throw. And when you have an offense like the Bills, that's more like, I would say, within 10, 40 yards or 10, 30 yards when it comes to their route running for majority of the game, that's not a good recipe for Josh Allen to play his best ball. So a deep threat's going to just take them over the top, honestly.
Yeah, and I remember you bringing up Rashid Shaheed as well, Chris, and I think Rashid Shaheed, given to your point, would be the perfect fit there, bro. Rashid Shaheed is a guy that runs a 4.2, 4.3, 40 type speed. And granted, I know it was last year or the year before it was. I think we played them. But that boy had 3 catches for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns, bro. And all 3 catches was downfield bombs. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely a guy that could definitely blow the top off of the fucking offense. I think that'd be a perfect fit over there for them, for sure.
And he's a special teams threat too, because in that same game he also returned a punt for a touchdown.
Yes.
So the Bills need more speed. That's basically it. They absent speed, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Is it weird to say with the whole Adonai Mitchell situation going on in Indianapolis that they might reach out to them? I mean, he's been benched. He's openly said, "I hope I haven't played my last snap for the Indianapolis Colts." I mean, they seem at this point. It seems like the Colts. You could probably talk better about it, Tino, but it seems that the Colts are almost like ready to give up on that guy. He's made a lot of mistakes in his short career so far.
Yeah, I mean, last year, his rookie year, granted, trying to get adjusted to the game and everything like that, man. But a big issue with him last year was finishing plays and actually making plays. When he got on the field, there were instances where, now granted, we know Anthony Richardson was nowhere near the best quarterback in the league last year, nor was he the most accurate quarterback in the league last year, right? But when he was accurate, there was a lot of times when Adonai Mitchell was the reason he had an incompletion because he was dropping the ball a lot or just giving up on a route, kind of like I mentioned with Marvin Harrison. Just, again, giving up on a route, not being able to catch the ball, not being able to consistently make plays when you're wide open and everything like that. And, I mean, outside of that, he doesn't provide much else. Like, he's not great in the blocking game. He's not somebody that you're going to want blocking on the outside, as we've seen with Jonathan Taylor and his 53-yard touchdown against the Rams that got called back. Jonathan Taylor was 30 yards ahead of everybody else, yet Adonai Mitchell still felt the need to hold the guy that was 30 yards behind Jonathan Taylor already. So I don't know, man. Adonai Mitchell is I was relatively high on him when we drafted him, but just given the things that I've seen so far from him in his career, I just think a change of scenery would be better for him, man, to be honest with you. And we kind of seen it with him in college as well when he was in Georgia and ended up going to Texas. I don't know, man. Change of scenery just helps everybody.
I just think he's in a situation similar to Georgia where he's not the main target. He's not one of the guys that you're going to have a go-to. So I think he needs to go to a place where they actually need another guy, wide receiver. I think Pittsburgh would be one of them. It's just a simple fact that when you look at the receiver core and how they're producing, he's an odd man out. You got Michael Pittman Jr., you got Alec Pierce, and then now Josh Downs. He's starting to come up there and emerge, and he's had his games last year, the last 2 years, where he just took off and just took over. So when you look at Adonai Mitchell, it's more of it just like consistency. You have to get him going. You got to get. It's like what they say you got to get a receiver's hands warm so he can be in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think he just needs to be on a team where they need another guy to just produce. I think he has the talent. I just think he's one of those guys that you got to keep him in the game by getting him, a couple of targets going his way, and he can show what he can do. I think there's a couple of places he can go. Pittsburgh being one of them. Honestly,
I think the Raiders could be one, man. I know they're struggling with wide receiver right now with Jacoby Myers. I know they just picked up Tyler Lockett to try to help out with that situation a little bit, man. But I mean, I think the Raiders could definitely be in play for some type of wide receiver playmaker right now too, man.
It could be the Raiders, it could be the Saints, it could be right now. It could be a couple teams because of the simple fact their passing game is struggling. I wouldn't recommend Cleveland because that's where a lot of talent goes to die and pass away unless you're a defensive end or a corner. But I just think that he just needs to be in a scenery where, he could be the number 2, maybe a number 3, because he could be that guy that's, another guy that quarterback can go to on a consistent basis. I don't see it as like the pick being a bust. I just think he's in a crowded room of good pass catchers, but there's only one football.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I definitely feel. I mean, I think even a place over there in NFC East between the Giants and the Commanders, with the injuries and stuff that they've been having in their wide receiver room, especially the Commanders. But Terry McLaurin's going to be out again, and he just played last week, so he's been real inconsistent with his health. Debo's been banged up a little bit here and there. Noah Brown's still missing time, so they don't have a lot of receiving depth neither. So yeah, I think Adonai Mitchell be a nice little fit over there or something too, man. So
definitely a hot commodity.
Yeah.
I have a question for y'all because this has been bothering me for the past week. My YouTube feed has been nothing but Browns podcasts all damn day about it. What the fuck is going on in goddamn Cleveland? I am tired of this mess. The last time we've all met up, I said Shador in 5. Right now, it sounds like Stefanski all season. What y'all take on the rumor of the Browns are more likely to trade Shador and Myles Garrett and not fire Kevin Stefanski? What are y'all thoughts on that? Because I think that's a hunk of bullshit for real. Because how are you willing to trade Myles Garrett and deal with all that dead money and not fire the head coach who doesn't want to get rid of the player that has some link to another coach that's a friend of his, and somehow they all have the same agency? Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I think if they end up going the Myles Garrett route and trading him, you might see a riot outside the Browns stadium. I think the Browns fans might show up. They better have some non-flammable spray to put on the outside of the stadium because they might burn it down. If you are willing to put so much faith in Kevin Stefanski, where he is going to trade your best player, the only bright spot of your whole season, just because he doesn't want to play this one quarterback, then something's going on there. I think it goes deeper than what we're seeing. Like you said, there's a whole bunch of little minuscule bullshit that when you put it all together, it becomes a big pile of bullshit. And I think eventually that story is going to come out. We might see some fines handed out. We might see Stefanski never coach again in the NFL. Honestly,
how this is looking really bad. What I'm hearing is Cleveland guys are starting to see that Kevin Stefanski doesn't know how to develop a quarterback. When you look at his resume, a lot of those quarterbacks already, they've already gotten themselves started. They've developed in some way to where they can make the offense look good. When you look at what Kevin Stefanski's doing right now, he's focusing more on protecting instead of scheming up a decent offense to produce points. So it's like it boggles my mind. You have a kid that played better than Dylan in practice, training camp. We've seen the numbers, but nope, he's not ready. We're gonna keep him on the bench. So somebody tell me what the hell's going on right now, because I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, let's all make a commitment to looking into this between now and Friday. And when we come back Friday, we'll have a whole thing about it. But let's get this Thursday night game out of the way real quickly. It's your team, Chris. So what do you think? Ravens, Dolphins, Thursday night.
The football guy, the Ravens fan in me is saying Lamar Jackson goes the fuck off when he comes back. And we have one of those old school routes of the Dolphins. But I am kind of worried because of the simple fact that the defense, you have to get Tua off the spot and moving to try to create in order for you to be successful defensively. Secondary defensively, they've improved quite a bit with the Louis Gilman trade. I would have liked to seen a pass rusher, but you know what I'm saying. Another guy back there that I think they benched Malachi Starks, and what's going on with them right now is they're improving. We've seen better from Nate Wiggins. We've seen them being able to attack the offense in multiple ways, and it just seems like Gilman kind of added a certain spark to that defense. And offensively, I honestly think if Baltimore could do what they did to the Bears with the diet version of Lamar Jackson and Snoop Huntley, and no disrespect to Snoop, he played his ass off. He had a pretty good game. Imagine what LJ8's going to do when he step on the field. My concern about that is the pass blocking. We got Patrick Ricard back, so the run game's going to improve quite a bit. I honestly think this is probably it can be belt to ass depending on what Dolphins team shows up and what Baltimore defense shows up. I see belt to ass, though. I'm always see belt to ass.
I'm not gonna lie though, I'm right there with you. The Dolphins to me have been exactly what the Falcons have been this year, which has been really good when they want to be and really bad when they try to be. So I think this is a game that they come in on a short week. They're not going to be up to snuff. We're not going to see the same Dolphins offense that we saw this past week. Sorry, I just got handed a deviled egg. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. The same Dolphins offense that we saw this week. For some reason, they're just inconsistent week to week. To me, I do. I notice your concerns, and I do see them as well. But I think it's just going to be a Lamar Jackson masterclass between him and whoever else is on that offense that's going to be playing, and is going to be belt to ass. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. Go ahead, boss, because we ain't heard you in a minute neither.
I'm gonna take my phone keeps that's why I keep jumping in. My phone battery is not charging. I'm on 0%, but
okay.
I think the Dolphins are getting destroyed by the Ravens. I agree with Chris. Belt to ass.
Okay.
For a split second, you was gonna piss me off. A split second.
Hey man, look, I'm right there with y'all, man. I do think it's gonna be a belt to ass game. I think it's gonna be so much of a belt to ass game that Baltimore looks at it like, you know what? Maybe we could have gave Lamar another week to rest this hamstring just to make sure he's healthy for an actual playoff push. Because, excuse me, I know basketball and football are two separate sports, right? But we seen it last postseason with Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, and things like that, right? If those hamstring injuries are not taken seriously and handled with precaution and handled with care and handled correctly, they could turn into much, much bigger issues that could not only hinder a season, but could hinder a future. You know what I'm saying? That's why I personally feel like they could have said, hey, it's a very winnable game. Snoop got the offense looking decent against a very good defense in Chicago. I think we'd be comfortable resting Lamar one more week just to play it safe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they did give him a huge contract. I do believe he's getting ready to be up for another one, if I'm not mistaken. Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong or not, but I just feel like
2 more years.
if that's the future of the franchise for the next potentially 10 years, I think it's just in your best interest to look at this game as a win, regardless of the situation, because we like we talked about they've been looking to trade Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Waddle, Devon A-Chain's name has been lingered out there and everything as well. So I just feel like it'd be in Baltimore's best interest to throw Lamar on the bench for one more week, rock with Snoop, let Derrick Henry go crazy against this very poor run defense, man, and go ahead and take the dub like they ultimately going to. You feel me?
Yeah, I think they sat him. Well, I mean, he's been injured for 4 weeks, so I think they gave him that month because the hamstring injury compared to the grade 3, grade 2. I believe it was just like a pulled hamstring, so they gave him the time, and I think the Chicago's Bears game was that extra week to have him sit out because he was full practice going in. He was full participating practice going into that game, so I think they played it safe and they went with Snoop Huntley. I think with this game, it should be an even more winnable game because before that game, Chicago was on a tear. I think they won 4 in a row. So I see it as like he's already. I think he's full steam ready to go. I think that hamstring is not a problem. They got some of their guys back. Roquan Smith being one of them. I think I honestly think, and this is going to be a hot take, I think they can make a run to still take the AFC North. I think they can still take it right now. Starting 1-5, I think they could be the first 1-5 team we see to make the playoffs.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I mean, that division is wide open, bro. So, I mean, there is
everybody is in some way playing like trash.
I mean, of course, Cincinnati's still been surprising, But now we kind of got some question marks because we don't know what's going on with Joe Flacco and his injury right now. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be Big Browning going forward? And then the injury with Trey Hendrickson as well. I think he's got a little hip injury that's starting to linger as well. So is that going to affect the trade deadline situation with him? Is a team really going to potentially be wanting to take that on, give a new contract, and he's got a hip injury going on? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I do agree with you, Chris, though, man. I think Baltimore's definitely got the team to be able to make that miraculous push of starting 1-5 and making the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, we got Chris's hot take. Usually, when we wrap things up, we tend to give ourselves some hot takes. So, Stino, let me grab your hot take real quick, and then I'll say mine, and then we'll get ourselves out of here tonight.
Hot take, man. I know it seems like a hot take to me right now just because of the way the award has played out over the past decade and a half. But I think Jonathan Taylor is the clear-cut, by far, most valuable player in the NFL right now, bro. I don't think there's been a quarterback that's playing nowhere near to the level that Jonathan Taylor has been playing. And I think it's time that we kind of start looking at this award as more of a actual truly value award rather than just who's the most valuable quarterback to a winning team. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, the team did look bad with Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor was still there. But Jonathan Taylor was a huge reason why we were even 8-9 last year. He played 14 games and had 1,400 yards and was averaging over 102 yards per game. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we can't just act like I think it's blasphemous that guy was left off the top 100 list as well. I was still trying to figure out what the collusion is with that. But, yeah, that's mine, man. I think Jonathan Taylor is the clear-cut MVP of the NFL right now. And I think he should be the first running back to unanimously win the MVP, to be honest.
He stays healthy and keeps going on this damn tear. I think he has 15 touchdowns and he's only halfway through the season. That's fucking absurd.
He's got, I do believe, 15 or 16 total touchdowns right now. Yes. He himself has more rushing touchdowns than every other team in the NFL.
He literally already broken the Colts franchise record for a running back. Well, I think rushing touchdowns for a season. That is crazy, especially in the passing era. Yeah. That is absurd.
Absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
So mine is going to be on the NBA side of things. This is something that I've spoke about before when we had discussed this off camera or a little bit earlier before the season started. I came into the season thinking the Spurs were going to be legit contenders. If Wembanyama can stay healthy, that they will be in the top, I'd say the top half of the West, the top 5 or the top 7. I do think that they have the pieces if they need to, if they go through a little bit of a slide before the NBA trade deadline, they have pieces to move to bolster their starting 5, to bolster their top 6, top 7 players on their bench, because they have a lot of young talent that they could really move if they had to. So I'm going to go as far as to say is that they make a Western Conference final this year. I think Wembanyama has come in this year. He is, I don't think anyone will disagree, the best player in the NBA, or will be by the end of the season considered the best player in the NBA. And I think that that's going to transition well with all that talent that they have into a Western Conference final for them. And they could, potentially win that. I think it's going to be tough. The West teams do match kind of well with the Spurs. So going through that playoffs is going to be tough. But I think they could definitely make a run and surprise a lot of people, because I think people kind of had them at that 7-8, maybe a play-in spot. Starting, I think they started 4-0 or 3-0 this season so far. Just texted boss he's going to hop back in real quick, and then we can wrap it up.
Well, hop in, give a hot take, and dip out.
Yeah, he got 1%. He got a.
San Antonio is also doing this without De'Aaron Fox in the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna be.
It just shows what type of alien that Wembanyama is. Like you're 7'4", you're pushing the ball up court, you're hitting threes from the logo, and then you're handling the ball like a point guard, but then you block like one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. It is fucking absurd. Whatever scientist like made him, I like a lot of people who want kids in sports, they need his name.
Yeah,
they definitely need his name.
That's the definition of experiment 626 right there, bro.
That's a fact.
Okay, boss.
That is a fact.
Hit us with that hot take, and then Kate, get us out of here.
Please don't say
Vandy and Georgia Tech make the playoffs.
Oh, Vandy and Georgia Tech.
That's actually something real quick before we end it. That's something I want to bring up on Friday.
Even though I feel like Georgia Tech don't deserve it.
There's
a demon deacon somewhere.
There's a nightmare scenario in college football that is going to shake something up if it happens. And we'll talk about that on Friday.
But yeah, thanks for everybody watching the Fifth Take podcast. We'll be live again Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check you guys later. Appreciate it.
Hey.